Can capitalism work for every human being? So this is a topic that I've been really interested in over the past, couple months. And just wondering, is it actually possible for capitalism to work for every human being? Now in this video, I'm going to share how I think that's possible. Please let me know what you think in the comments below. Because I'm actually talking about everyone, not just a few people at the top, but everyone. How can everyone live well on this planet today? Welcome to the channel. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe and like this comment like this video. And again, comment below if you have any input, because I'd love to know, because I'm by no means an expert on this at all. I studied economics twice in university, micro, macro. I think I got a C- and a C+. So that's all I really know about economy. It's very limited. Even as a business owner myself, still quite limited in terms of the global scale of economy and how it all works together. But this is my idea. So when we think of capitalism, this is how we can think of it. It's like a triangle. It's like a pyramid system where there's very few at the top, very few at the top, and most people are here at the bottom, holding up this top. And the top doesn't really do much for this bottom. So most people are living in this range, where you have debt, you're stuck in the credit system, you have to work for the rest of your life, or at least the majority of it, in a job that is not your excitement. It doesn't pull your heartstrings, but you're doing it because you need to survive. Maybe you have a family, you have a house now, you have responsibilities, and so you got to keep this job, even though you don't enjoy it that much. Because when I was younger, I remember I used to think, like, the idea of having to work something that you don't enjoy for 40 years of your life, or maybe 25 if you're lucky to 40 years, it just didn't make sense to me. And that might be a very naive way of looking at it, and perhaps it was at those, I was really young. But now that I'm growing older and building my own life for myself, slowly but surely, I'm beginning to ask these questions on a larger scale, like, how can we make this all work for each other? Like, how can we actually all live here well and do what we enjoy? Is that even possible? So in this video, I'm going to try and explain that a bit. Now, for more thoughts like this, or far more refined and well thought out opinions on these things, someone like Noam Chomsky is definitely worth looking into. And this pyramid system idea was something that I heard from a channel, someone who was channeling through an entity from the Akashic Records. And so this is where this come from. I'll link those below. You can check them out yourself. Okay. But when we think of capitalism, we can think about it like this, like it's a pyramid system. Most people are just sitting here at the top, or some people, sitting here at the top, but most people are here at the bottom, trying to hold up that top, trying to hold up this entire society. And when we look at, Canada and America, most of the West, China, Russia, all these countries, that's how this is built. This is how their countries are built. They're pyramids. And most people are trying to get to that top almost unconsciously, just because they've been told this is what we have to do. Not because this is their heart's intention. It's just because they've been told this. And so they run in that way and never really get there and die in this area. And then they're born again and do it again. But my thoughts on this are, if we were to make capitalism work for everyone, this is one way that we could do it. We could begin to create our own communities within our own groups of people, maybe anywhere from 20 to 100 to 200 to 1,000 people, maybe more, I don't know. I'm just spitballing here. And so these people from this section could move off and almost splinter off into their own communities. And in these communities, they could focus on what excites them, and they could use their skills and their knowledge and their technologies to create their own industry within these circle communities. This industry then provides everyone with what they need and gives them enough resources and skill sets and intelligence in their own fields or their own creations to then share it and trade with other communities. And so in that way, every human being, even if you're not doing your heart's desire, your heart's intention, you'll be in a community that can put you in a position where you're of use to the community. You're not just plugging a hole to keep a certain system going, because that's what capitalism really is, at least from my perspective of it. And again, I'm no expert. I'm still learning a lot, and I'd like to learn more. So please comment below what you think. There's many things I could learn from you all, so please let me know. But capitalism is just a bigger machine that's looking for us to plug holes and be parts in it. And a lucky few get to sit at the top and collect the proceeds of the machine, the greater machine. But everyone else has to just plug the holes of the machine to keep it going, to be a part in the machine. But if we have these kind of circle communities that have splintered off from this triangle community, where people are self-sufficient, they're a part of the community, they can see the benefit they're bringing to it, even if it's not their most exciting thing for them, at least they have that fulfillment of they see what their work is even doing for the greater community. And then those communities become strong within themselves and self-reliant on themselves. And how the economy and how the planning of the buildings and things like this occurs in those communities, I don't know, obviously. But just a very general, kind of high-level overview of a circle that has a core industry, a core thing that they produce, a core thing that they specialize in, or maybe even a few core things. Maybe you have 3 or 4. And then every person in the community contributes to those core skill sets in developing them and refining them and studying them. And then you're able to share that out with the other communities who need them. So for myself, the idea of having a community that's based around spiritual development and meditation, and then maybe we bring other people who have other skill sets who can create other industries, let's say, or other specializations within that community. And then we're able to spread and share, let's say, meditation with people to help with mental health in other communities. Or we have another skill set that we can share with other people in other communities, and then they share what we need from them to us. And so this is just an idea of how we can begin to look at capitalism as really just a triangle. Like it's really just a pyramid system keeping us in place, keeping us as parts of a larger machine that we really have no control over. But if we began creating more intentional communities that are circular in nature, these are just the words I'm using, but circular in nature in the sense that there's a center that is feeding all within it, and they are feeding back to it. And then they are producing enough from that and from their work that they're able to share with other circle communities who can then share with them whatever it is that they're developing, their skill sets are, whatever it is. But it could just be a different way of looking at capitalism as we begin to transition on this planet. If we look at what's going on in the south of me, which is America, and just how ridiculous all that is, and so many other countries as well who are following their blueprint of just tyranny and every man for himself, and we're all divided and these kind of things. Instead, recognizing that we're actually all in this together, whether you like it or not, we are. And so finding a group of like-minded individuals and starting to develop our own like-minded communities based around our own skill sets, and then being able to use those skill sets to trade for other skill sets in other communities for things that we need, could be a different way of living on this planet that actually makes it work for everyone. And I would think this is still capitalistic. Like that's still a capitalism idea, those circle communities, but it's just a more inclusive capitalism. It's one that is, thinking about the social welfare of every human being. It's not just every man for himself, which is a really easy way to destroy this planet, destroy humanity's future, which is what we're doing right now. And so this is just an idea. I'm still quite a far away from this, but I think something like this is what I'd like to develop in my life. I'm not too sure. I'm now just talking, but let's see what happens. But anyways, again, just another way of looking at capitalism to really see what system a lot of us are actually in, and to realize that there's actually ways out of it. And there's ways that we can make this the same way a cell forms another cell, but then it becomes its own individual cell. We can begin to form cells from capitalism that are healthy and circular and self-sufficient and joyous and fulfilling for humans, so that we're not just here struggling and suffering unnecessarily. We can actually enjoy life. And again, this is probably many generations away, this idea. But it's something we can begin just planting seeds like this video hopefully does for a few of you. Again, please let me know in the comments below if this even makes sense, if you think it would work, where are the flaws in it, how this wouldn't work, how it would work, what would you do? And like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.